going on YouTube? Mike here with I Heart Knives, and today we're going to do a quick unboxing and sort of first impressions, even though this isn't my first knife. It is my first example of this steel, and it's an exclusive, so I haven't opened it, but I did take off the label. So, all right, let's go ahead and cut into it. Sure, some of you guys probably already know what this is. John, if you're watching this, thank you for the heads up. And it's a Spyderco exclusive, and it is Manix 2 in CPM Cruwear. Alright, so this is actually my first example of Cruwear. I've never gotten a Cruwear knife before, and that was the reason why I ended up getting it, was because I haven't had Cruwear, and I'm not really one to jump on sprint runs unless it's like definitely a knife that I really like the lightweight Maximet. I jumped on it really quickly, and actually my first lightweight was this guy in S110V. I know Steve says fuck S110V, but I like it. I love the Maximet. It does patina, you know, it'll rust on you, but this knife has been awesome. And the other reason why I got this is because I haven't had a regular Manix in, well, over a year at least. Actually, not a bad opening. So it'll open with a flick, but it doesn't drop. You know, these are usually pretty stiff right out of the box. Like this Maximet one, I mean, it'll like literally just drop, which I don't really give a shit about, like how drop shuddy a knife is. I know some people do though, so that's why I was demonstrating that for you guys. And I'm going to do a lineup to show you guys the size of it. The other reason why I got it was for the smooth G10. I've wanted a smooth G10 knife, and none really spoke to me until the Cruwear one came out in the Manix 2. I do prefer a bigger knife, and that was another reason to get the Manix 2, even though I've had 4 Manix 2s. These are the 2 that I've kept on to. 2 others I've sold. I've had the satin and the blacked out S30V versions, and I sold both of them. But I love the lightweight version, but I sort of felt like I was missing something with not having the regular Manix 2 for such a long time. I love the lightweight, especially the pocket clip, but the heft and like the beefiness of it, I sort of missed that. So that was a big reason why I got it. But I've heard really good things about Cruwear, so I'd say that Cruwear was probably 70-75% of why I ended up getting it. You know, I've heard so many good things from Sean, Big Brown Bear, and lots of other guys about Cruwear. And then, you know, there's a lot of talk about Z-Wear, which is, you know, it's a different manufacturer's version of Cruwear, basically. This is CPN, and I believe Z-Wear is Bowler. I think it's Bowler Oodleholm. But, so far, my first impressions are, it's just like any other Manix 2. I love the smooth G10. I like it better than the regular G10. The centering is a little rough. I'd say it's probably about 15% skewed. Not sure if the camera will pick it up. Lockup is good. Feels solid. There's no side to side or you know, front to back play. The edge actually feels kind of sticky. Sometimes the factory edges from Spyderco don't always feel sticky like this. This one is actually pretty sticky, and the grind is actually pretty freaking good. It's definitely even. Even at the tip, the split is 50-50, which you never see. I mean, you hardly ever see, I should say. Yeah, I really like this G10. So far so good. I think I probably will change the pocket clip to a deep carry. Not that it needs it, but I like a deep carry pocket clip. The jimping on it, you know, it's a little rough, but you know, I'm not really, it doesn't matter to me. You know, my hands are fairly rugged, so I'm not too worried about it. You know, what else I could say about it? I mean, you know, it is full liners. They did mill out the liners to reduce some weight. The polishing on the tang is pretty good. So like where the ball bearing will make contact, it's pretty well polished. I don't know if I can show you that. So there, hopefully you can see the tang polishing where the ball bearing will make contact. See if I can show you the tip too. So hopefully you can see there the tip. The tip grind is very good, and the bevel grinds. It's very even. So for a Spyderco, that's pretty cool. Like the polish on it is very close, I'd say, to like S30V. Maybe has a little bit more of grind line to it, you know, where you can see the grind lines from the belt, which usually the higher carbide steels, you know, you can see the lines more, and the polish is much harder to get really even, nice grinds. But this one's not too bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but for a production knife, especially at this cost, it's kind of to be expected. So it did actually smooth a little bit. Again, it's not going to be like my Manix Max Mitt, but it'll smooth out over time as it gets used. I'm really curious to see how the Cruwear holds up. How the edge holds up on it. So let's see. Defining feature of this elite version of the Manix 2 is its blade, which is precision machined from CPM Cruwear air hardening tool steel, specially formulated to offer both superior wear resistance and toughness. Cruwear's unique alloy composition allows it to excel in applications that require greater wear resistance than D2, more toughness than M2 high-speed steel, or both. Cruwear used in the blade of the knife is further enhanced by CPM process, which ensures an ultrafine, highly homogeneous grain structure that maximizes the performance potential of the steel in a knife blade that translates to amazing toughness and the ability to take and hold an outstanding edge. Yeah, so that's cool. I mean, I know the toughness of M2 high-speed steel. I've had some pretty sketchy catches on my lathe. I've chipped M2, and I'm not talking like blade chip. I'm talking like a fucking like a 2 millimeter chip out of a bowl gouge. So actually, no, it wasn't my bowl gouge. It was a roughing gouge, which, if you guys don't know what that is, go look up what a roughing gouge looks like and look at the geometry of a roughing gouge. And, yeah. The roughing gouge thickness is probably almost double the blade stock thickness on this guy. So M2 can take a pretty serious hit. So if that's how this, what this was designed to do is kind of split the difference between M2 and D2, that's cool with me. I know it'll be a tough steel, but geometry has a lot to do with it. So I'm pretty excited about it. Let's just do some size comparisons. And we're just going to mow right through them. I don't want this to be a really long video for you guys. So, since we have D2 in the mix that we were talking about from Spyderco's little pamphlet, compare it to the D2 Ontario Rat 1. They're very similar in size. Rat 1's a little bit longer, and cutting edge of the Rat 1 is just a touch longer, but the blade length overall is basically the same. It's just that you have a 50-50 choil on the Manix. In the spirit of high-speed steel and the M2D2 discussion that was on that pamphlet, let's go with the brother, CPM M4. It's a brother steel of M2. And this is the Mantra 1, which you can see is much smaller than the Manix 2. Alright, Benchmade Griptilian. This is a full size, very similar in size. Blade length is about the same. Handle length is very close. Difference is you have 50-50 choil on the Manix 2. Cutting edge you get just a little bit more on the Benchmade Griptilian. Do a rake P801, and its overall blade length is just about the same. Handle length is almost the same. Manix is just a touch longer, and obviously you have the 50-50 choil. And then let's go with the lightweight, which is basically the same size. It's just that the newer Cruwear one looks a little bit longer, and that's only because I've sharpened this S110 version a lot. So, the tip is just a little bit shorter. The Maximate one I've only sharpened once, I think, and it's the same exact length. So, obviously you have weight differences there. That's why it's called the lightweight, and you don't have you don't have full liners or anything like that. You just have the FRN scales. So, yeah, it's a cool knife. I'm excited to give it some pocket time. I have been using my Microtech SOCOM Elite a lot, and it's about time that I start pocketing something else, because that knife is always in my pocket. It's got to be my most used knife. But I'll be excited to put this one in my pocket and get some use out of it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the first impressions of the Manix 2 Cruwear. It's not really my first impression since I've already had the knife. It's just that the Cruwear is new. And look for the review on it. I'm going to be knocking out some reviews on knives that I've had now for a month, or my older knives that I've had for a lot longer than that. But newer knives like the Ritter RSK Mark II. This is a knife that that I haven't had for very long, but I've had it enough that I have an idea of it, what I like, don't like, etc. So knives like that, and knives that are newer. I'm finally getting more pocket time with them, so I can give them a fair shake of a review instead of just trying to knock out reviews for the sake of getting videos out there for you guys. So thanks for bearing with me through that, and that's it. So look out for my full actual review of this guy, the Manix 2 Cruwear, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts on it, how the edge retention is on it for my daily use, and what I like, dislike, etc. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for coming along. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or email me at iheartknives@yahoo.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.